In 1947, a quiet banker's life changed forever. He was accused of killing his wife and her lover. He said he didn't do it, but the court didn't believe him. Two life sentences at the most feared place in Maine, Shawshank Prison. The gates slammed shut behind him, a place of stone, iron, and despair. That first night, a new inmate broke down crying. The chief guard beat him to death. That's how things worked at Shawshank. Obey or suffer. But the banker didn't cry, didn't speak, didn't break. Weeks passed. One afternoon, he walked up to a man known for getting things. He asked for something strange, a rock hammer. The man laughed. Planning to dig your way out? He said. The banker smiled softly. Just for carving stones. It was small enough to hide in a Bible, small enough to keep a secret. Life in Shawshank was brutal. He worked in the laundry, just surrounded by heat, noise, and hate. And there were the ones they called the sisters, predators who preyed on the weak. He fought back again and again. Even when he lost, he never lost his will. Years went by, he was learning, observing, waiting. Then came a day on the prison roof. A work crew was tearing the top of the factory. The sun was blazing. The guards watched like hawks. The banker overheard one of them complaining about taxes. He stepped forward and offered a solution, a legal way to keep every penny. At first, the guard threatened to throw him off the roof, but when he realized it was true, he agreed. In exchange, the banker asked for one simple thing, cold beer for every man on the crew. And for one golden moment under the warm summer sun, they sat drinking like free men. He didn't touch a single bottle. He just sat, smiling. Maybe not for the beer, but for the feeling. The feeling of being free, even for a few minutes. His intelligence caught the warden's eye. Soon, he was moved to the prison library to help with finances, taxes, and paperwork. But he had a bigger plan. He began writing letters to the state every week, asking for funds to improve the library. For years, they ignored him. Then they sent $200 and some used books. They thought it would stop him. It didn't. He just wrote twice as many letters. One day, while sorting through donations, he found a record, The Marriage of Figaro by Mozart. He locked the office door, placed the record on the turntable, and played it through the prison loudspeakers. The music filled every hallway, every cell. Every broken soul stopped what they were doing and listened, the voices of angels echoing through concrete and steel. For a moment, everyone at Shawshank felt free. The warden was furious. He sent him to solitary for 2 weeks. When he came out, he said, "It was the easiest time I ever did. I had Mozart with me in here." He pointed to his heart. In here. Then came heartbreak. The old librarian who had lived in Shawshank for 50 years was finally paroled. Freedom terrified him. He couldn't live without the walls that held him so long. He took his own life. His friends were shattered. The banker said quietly, "Some birds aren't meant to be caged. Their feathers are just too bright." The years rolled on. The warden grew richer, greedier. Using the banker's knowledge, he built a scheme, using prisoners for cheap labor and laundering money under a false name, Randall Stevens. It was brilliant, illegal, and dangerous. But the banker knew what he was doing. He was building more than a library. He was building an exit. Then one day, a young man arrived at Shawshank, wild, restless, but honest. The banker helped him study for his diploma. They became friends. One night, the young man heard his story. A banker convicted of murdering his wife and her lover. The boy froze. He'd once shared a cell with a man who bragged about killing a golfer and the woman he was sleeping with. A crime pinned on someone else. It was the truth. The proof of innocence they had all been waiting for. Full of hope, the banker went to the warden, begging to reopen his case. But the warden refused. He couldn't risk losing his best accountant. Days later, the young man was shot dead while trying to escape. Hope was dangerous in Shawshank. After months in solitary, the banker came out changed. He spoke of a place called Zihuatanejo, a small town by the Pacific Ocean, a place with no memory, a place to live free. He said, "If you ever get out, go to Buxton. Find a large oak tree at the end of a stone wall. Under it, you'll find a black rock that doesn't belong there. And inside, something that would set him free." Then one night, he asked for a length of rope. The next morning, his cell was empty. The warden stormed in, furious. He threw a rock at the poster on the wall. It didn't bounce back. It tore straight through. Behind it, a tunnel. 19 years. one pocket of dirt at a time, a hole carved with patience, silence, and hope. That night, during a thunderstorm, he crawled through the tunnel and into the sewer, 500 yards of darkness, filth, and fear. And when he came out, he stood under the rain, arms raised to the sky, a free man. By morning, he was gone. The warden opened his safe and found only a Bible. Inside, the pages had been cut in the shape of a rock hammer. On the cover, one word, Exodus. Soon the police arrived. The banker's documents were already with the newspapers. The warden's empire collapsed overnight. The guards were arrested. The warden ended his life. Justice at last. Weeks later, a postcard arrived for his friend, postmarked from Texas. No message, just one clue. Years passed. The friend was finally paroled. But outside, life felt empty. Every day he bagged groceries. Every night he dreamed of his friend. Until one morning he remembered the promise. He traveled to Buxton, found the oak tree, and under the black volcanic rock, he found a box. Inside, money and a letter. If you've come this far, maybe you're ready to come a little further. I'll be waiting in Zihuatanejo. He violated parole, boarded a bus south, and crossed into Mexico. And there, on a quiet beach beneath the blazing sun, he saw a familiar figure working on a small boat. Two friends, no longer prisoners, finally free. Hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things. And no good thing ever dies. Enjoyed the video? Hit like and subscribe.